Hey guys, it's Katie and welcome to my channel. Today's video is going to be yet another foundation review because I have a serious problem. But today's review is going to be about the Urban Decay All Nighter foundation. It's basically supposed to be a matte finish that's going to last all night, and you know, it's just supposed to be long lasting and full coverage, very full coverage. So yeah, I have all my notes written down of what I think, but I'll just go ahead and start with the demo. I'm going to use a primer, just the Milani Prime Shield. This doesn't really do any mattifying or anything. It just fills in my pores a little bit, which I kind of need just because I have massive pores. So. Alright, so now it is just time to apply the foundation. I usually use like one pump for my entire face because, I don't know why I'm shaking this. This says to shake it, but it's so thick, I don't think it does anything. Anyways, I just use like one pump for my entire face, which is about this much. Sometimes I'll go in with a second, depends. But I'll just do half so you can kind of see the half face done. And I really only like this using a sponge. Just because of the level of coverage you get with the sponge, I don't really need a brush. It doesn't look bad with a brush, it's just like more coverage than I want, really. So that's just a super thin layer on one side. I'm gonna build it up to what I kind of like it to be, still on this side. So I just add a little bit to where I get redness, a little more to the forehead, and then I go back to blending. So as you can see, that does cover a majority of my redness and everything on my face, and it does it without looking super cakey, which I like about it. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the other side, same way. And as you can see, I've still not used all that pump. That is the one layer of foundation, one pump. That's literally all you need, so I'm not going to be using this again today. But basically, yeah, so this is the coverage you get. It is a nice matte finish, which it says it will be, but it's not super flat where you look dead. It doesn't cake up, it just really looks nice. So I really enjoy just how it applies, and everything applies very well on top of it. So I am just going to go finish that and then I will be back. So on top of that, I ended up applying the Urban Decay Naked Concealer just to highlight. I didn't really do any spot concealing. I used a tiny bit of my NARS as well, just because I like the tone of that one better. And then I just applied the rest of my makeup. So yeah, this is very fall look right now, like oops, but I'm really having a moment with winged eyeliner, but that's not important right now, I guess. So let's just get into the foundation. So I'll just start with the pros because let's just start on a positive note. So first of all, it does last all day. I wore this when I moved and I was sweating a lot and it's been hot and I don't have air conditioning, and it does hold up. It gets a little bit oily in the nose region because I always do, but I just blot it and it is perfectly fine after that for the most part. It doesn't really get oily anywhere else, and it doesn't break down or like disappear by the end of the day, which a lot of foundations do, especially if you have oily skin. Two, it is super lightweight, which is important because I don't like the feeling of having like foundation cake down, which is why I mostly wear BB creams. But this one is very lightweight. It sets like almost immediately, honestly, so you do have to kind of work quickly with it. But once it sets, you don't feel it on your skin at all. Like if you touch it, it just has that nice like soft powdery finish without like looking too powdery, if that makes sense. But yeah, you don't feel it at all, which I love. 3, it definitely is very high coverage. I use a sponge to sheer it out a little bit because I'm not a super full coverage type of person, but since I have been having a lot of breakouts recently, it's been really good to cover those up and it doesn't wear off or get crusty over them at all, which is good. I think their color selection is really good, so that's another pro. I believe there's 24 shades of this and they have a few shades lighter than this one. Mine's shade 2.5. They have many shades darker than this one. So yeah, props to them for making a really good foundation that covers a wide range of skin tones. I definitely think it has a better selection than the Naked Skin, like the original one. And I mean, the packaging is perfect. That goes without saying. This just looks super cute. It doesn't emphasize my pores, which is good. I did use that pore minimizing primer just because my pores are like massive, but it doesn't sink into anything or my lines. Occasionally, like right here, it will a little bit, but other than that, it doesn't sink in anywhere. It just stays very flawless and smooth, which I appreciate, especially because some high coverage foundations can really like emphasize pores, which sucks because ew. And everything blends really well on top of this foundation. I put on some of the Benefit Hoola bronzer as well as their blush, which one? Dandelion. So yeah, anything that I put on top tends to blend very well. You don't even necessarily have to set it with a powder before putting your other powder products on top because it does set so quickly. I do set it with a powder. I set it with the RCMA No Color Powder. That's just what I always use. But everything goes very smoothly on top. It doesn't get all patchy or like stick to it or anything. It just very flawlessly blends and lasts all day. Now I do have 3 cons, but compared to all those pros, I think it's still okay. It can look heavy if I use a brush or I don't like really blend it out with the sponge enough. So yeah, you do have to be careful about that because it is high coverage. I know a lot of people like that more heavy look, but for me, that's not really like my thing. So I like it to be a little more sheared out, so you can just use a sponge for that purpose. The other thing that's really, really weird, okay, the Makeup Forever Mist and Fix is like my favorite setting spray. I spray it pretty much every single day because it really just like makes everything seamlessly blend and smooth together. But I don't know if it's just this setting spray or like all setting sprays, but I sprayed this on it and tried to do my usual thing and it like just got all patchy anywhere that I did that. So I don't know if it's because it's like waterproof or whatever, but I wouldn't do that. No setting spray for this one. And then for some reason, one part of my nose turns like a weird dark shade, like right here. I don't know why, I don't know how, but that happened 2 times when I wore this. So you just have to like be careful. I think it's something with the oils though, so like once I blot it, it goes away, but so that's weird. But other than that, I really like this foundation. So I'm not really going to be back to check in throughout the day, but that's why I like to do these reviews as reviews instead of first impressions, just because then I already know my thoughts and how long it lasts and I don't have to like worry about finding a place to film or whatever. So yeah, that is it for my review on this foundation. I hope that you found this helpful. I really, really like it for my oily skin and especially in the summer. I wish this would have come out at the beginning of the summer, but yeah, I really enjoy it. Hope that you find this helpful and hopefully I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys.